I just walked out of a closet and was there a bed in there? And am I sitting in the sofa right now? I think I have a lot of explaining to do, but first, let's rewind for a little bit. Good morning. I'm a little bit stressed right now because I'm getting a sofa. And so it's going to be delivered between 10 in the morning and 1:30 in the afternoon, and it's currently like 10:05 because this gal wanted to get in a yoga class this morning, so I got back home at like 9 o'clock. So I had 1 hour and I feel like I just want to prep my apartment a little bit before it gets delivered, but I don't know whether it gets delivered right now or if it gets delivered later in the day. I'm just running around my apartment drinking my coffee, and yeah, now I'm going to take out the trash. So I'm getting a sofa. So I was about laundry today between 11 and 3 in the afternoon. So this day is really going to put my stress management on a whole nother level. But we can push through it, right? Like, I'm going to push my sofa into this apartment. Are you kidding me? That I would have to carry the sofa up myself because it's a modular sofa, so it's 2 parts. So I was like, yeah, I can carry it myself. But then, of course, there were 2 guys that were delivering it, and they were like my age, I think. And they just looked at me and saw how small I am, and they asked me like, are you going to carry it yourself? And I said, yeah. And then I asked them like, but could you just move it into like the courtyard? And then I said, I live only half flight up, so it's not that much to carry. And then they were like, yeah, okay, but we can just carry it inside for free. And I was like, okay, sure. So I guess this is like the small girl privilege because all guys want to help me carry things. But the thing is, like, I am so ambitious, so I've carried so much stuff myself, so I don't really find it that difficult. But I guess, I mean, it's inside and I didn't have to push it myself, so that's great. And now I have a sofa. I'm so excited. I'm just here, laying in my sofa. It is so big. This is so nice. Now I can have friends sleeping here, and it can fit probably like for 3-4 people. And nobody knows about it. I am the craziest girl ever. I'm probably going to be in shock for like a whole week. Because it's like I'm having 2 beds. But I mean, worth it. I moved into this apartment in October last year. It was a kind of a spontaneous move. I didn't plan on moving exactly, but then one day during the summer I was just scrolling through the available apartments, and then I found this apartment. And at the time I was living in a 20 square meter small student apartment, and the location wasn't the best. The rent just kind of got higher as the years went by, and so when I found this apartment, which was a lot better located and it was bigger in size, the rent was almost the same. I just felt like maybe this is a sign for me to move, so I moved. I always said that the apartment that I was going to move to after I moved out of my student apartment was going to have a separate kitchen, which this apartment didn't have. It was just this big room, and then it had the entranceway and the bathroom. And so I just got a little bit stumbled. And in the same way that I felt that I kind of slept in the kitchen in my student apartment, this apartment kind of felt the same, which was what I didn't want to feel. And I also felt that my bed was so visual and in your face, even in this apartment, even though it was bigger. So I felt that there should be some solution to that, but at the time when I moved in, I just couldn't really think about how I was going to solve it, but I did. So yeah, when I moved into this apartment, I just kind of saw one way that I was going to lay it out, the same as the previous couple that rented this apartment. Having the bed in one corner of the room and having the kitchen table at the other part of the room, but I wanted it to be divided, so I put up this curtain that acted like a divider, and then I have my bed and my TV. The TV in front of the bed, I would go back to why that was like the worst thing that could ever don't do it. My kitchen table and 4 chairs, because I also felt that since I lived in a bigger place now, I could finally have like this dinner table and have 4 chairs, and I was so happy that I could finally like have my friends over and we wouldn't have to be so cramped. But it still felt kind of cramped, like even though I had like this space, it was still like pushed into the corner, and then there was just so much room. Yeah, it didn't feel good. It felt cramped. And so that just ended up with me just not hosting things and bringing friends over. There was a lot of things that I did wrong when I first furnished this apartment, but that's fine. I will come back to this later. Furnishing an apartment is such a big investment, and if you invest in things that don't work out, you kind of feel guilty in a way, because you're like, why didn't I think of this, and blah 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 blah. But yeah, it's okay to mess up even when furnishing an apartment. Wow! How did this idea spark in the first place? During December, I was just laying in bed watching my TV, and then I kind of stumbled across the YouTube channel Never Too Small. I was like, yeah, I could watch some of these, it's kind of interesting. And then I saw more and more apartments that were my size, and they were able to fit in so much more than I was, because they thought of it differently. But the thing was that I lived in a rental and they did not. They were able to do these like permanent solutions. I cannot build a wall or move the kitchen, obviously. And so I was like, yeah, no, it's going to be impossible for me to do something like that. And I also always felt that my bed had to be in the one corner of the room where the kitchen wasn't located, because otherwise I was scared that I was going to feel like I slept in the kitchen even more. But then I started thinking about it, and I was like, but maybe if I cannot kind of come up with doing something that has structured walls or something that was solid, then maybe it wouldn't be so weird to have my bed by the kitchen part of the apartment. And so I started to make a lot of drawings, and I started to look up how could I create this kind of solid wall feeling without building a wall. How could I have an entrance? And is there any possible way for me to like do some sort of structure with sliding doors, something like that? And then the idea kind of sparked that, but what if I make the entrance through a wardrobe? Because my apartment was also lacking a lot of storage. Like I had my vacuum cleaner on top of like my wardrobe, and I had to separate it every time I put it away. And then it kind of hit me that, yeah, it wouldn't be so weird to do the wardrobe thing. The only thing is that it is kind of risky, and I needed to really think about it and how to make it secure. I was going to sleep in there, and I didn't want to wake up with like a wardrobe all over me. So yeah, that was when I sat down at the drawing table and I began to look into how my dream was going to come true. So my project isn't even close to being done. There is so much that I want to change, but I feel like this place has to grow over time. It costs money, and I don't have the money for like this big renovation all at once, but I feel like that is kind of the beauty. Now that I can live in my space, I can kind of feel like what I need and what I don't need. But right now I am so glad that I did this. I just feel so great. I get up out of bed every morning. I just use my apartment so much more because all of the space is utilized in another way that really works. I use my 26 square meters in a much more effective. Kind of brings me to why I kept this project of mine a secret. I didn't tell anyone. Not a single soul. If you know me, you know that I absolutely hate keeping things secrets, especially from my friends, because I really want to like share, and I'm an oversharer. But the main reason was that I didn't want anyone to influence me on this decision. It was such a big decision based around like my well-being, and I knew like somewhere inside of me that I had to do this in order to change my behavior and change my mindset and not make my apartment this depressive place, an uninspiring place. I wanted to feel inspired whenever I was home and feel like this was actually a place that I wanted to spend time in, especially since I am probably going to live here for probably 4 or 5 years moving forward. And so since this was going to have me using some of my savings, I just didn't want anyone to guilt trip me or make me feel guilty that I did this. And also, like, it sounds kind of crazy when you say that you're going to build a bedroom nook out of a wardrobe. That was kind of why I kept it secret. But now I'm so excited to show everyone and to bring people over and to actually watch TV and play video games on my TV with my friends. Before, since I had the TV in front of my bed, we didn't really use the TV. I was the only one that used it, which was not very good either. Having the TV in front of your bed is probably the best solution for being depressed, especially like on those days where you just feel like you don't want to get out of bed, and to just be able to switch on the TV the first thing that you do when you wake up is so bad. Please don't have a TV in front of your bed. It's not good at all. As I said, I'm not close to done with this project in any manner, but I'm so excited to take you with me and to show you how it grows and how it becomes this like super cool place. Probably closer to like mid-spring, summer, or even in a year, I will post in-depth apartment tour. But this was just kind of telling you that right now you're going to see a whole different background in my videos, and I'm so excited for that. Just wanted to share it with you. But that was it. That was my little secret, which is now out to the world to know. I'm so glad that you watched this video, and I hope I'll see you next week. Goodbye.